Hey guys, welcome back. So we're back on the roof and we're joined by my friend Benji, who's going to help us just identify a few mistakes that people sometimes make just with some simple basic movements. So we're going to go through some body weight movements, we're going to go through lunges, we're going to go through a squat, we're going to go through using kettlebells in both of those to make them a little bit more difficult. Okay, so Benji, can I get you please to do 10 backwards step lunges on each leg for me, please? Okay, so from here, just doing a backward step lunge, this means that we can actually see the glute working and whether it's working or not working, because actually sometimes it can be a little bit inactive or not strong enough. So here, because me and Benji have been training for a little bit of a while, he's strong, he's a Muay Thai fighter, he knows how to use his legs, he knows how to use his muscles. From here you can see nice straight lines, you can see the little bit of a difference in the left and the right leg, but we talk about that and we just need to know about it so that we can start to adjust it. But obviously Muay Thai, very dominant on one side of the leg, so it might be a little bit different, but that's okay. From here, he's gonna go through, just finish up 10, and one more each side for me. Perfect, good. Keeping his chest up, back straight, nice and easy. So to make that a little bit more difficult, to make it into a little bit more of a strength accessory exercise, we're gonna get him just to grab that kettlebell, please. And just on one side, so we're gonna do all the lunges onto one side, so we're gonna have the kettlebell up on the side. This leg is gonna go back. So the same side that he has the kettlebell, he's gonna push that leg back. So every single time, 10 reps onto your right leg backwards. Okay, so from here, now adding that kettlebell in, we've just made the balance happen a little bit differently through his core muscles. So now he's actually having to adjust a little bit differently so that we can see this all through here is having to activate and be a little bit stronger. And then we can go and swap over onto the other side. When he's ready, he can swap over to the other side. That's it. There we go. And again, with these exercises, when you're doing them yourself, you might find that one side is a little bit more easy or more difficult than the other side. So when we feel that, we know that we have a weaker side and a stronger side. So what do we do with the weaker side? We've got to make it stronger. So make sure that you're focusing on that and making sure that you're using your brain to communicate with the muscles on that side to make sure that we're getting stronger over time. Okay, so really quickly, we're just going to go through a couple of mistakes that sometimes people make with their lunges. Again, we're going to do back step lunges. And so with this one, we're going to see that actually he's going to lean too far forward and his knee is going to be too far over his front foot when he's doing his lunge. Okay, so sometimes a little bit more far forward, he's too good at it. See, that's the problem. Okay, there we go, see? And this is a really normal thing for a lot of people to do when they're doing a back step lunge or a forward step lunge. So they're keeping their chest too much down. Okay, so we're gonna get up, chest up. Hey Marley, Marley's coming to check. Okay, so we keep our chest up, back nice and straight all the way through. Okay, and then this next one, sometimes people are making their stride, the length of their feet too wide. Okay, so they're stepping really big. No need. Okay, we need to keep the body a little bit tighter, keep everything a little bit more in control. So when one of our limbs gets too far away from our midline, so the middle of our body, that means we have less control over it. So we want to keep everything a little bit tighter, but not too tight. It needs to be a nice balance. Usually it being about a right angle. So if we do it correctly this time, so just show me again. So we want to see a right angle with the front leg and with the back leg here, as much as we can, and a nice tall chest and a tall back. Okay, so next movement, the body weight squat. Okay, so this is something that a lot of people always get like a little bit, like they're not sure about how to do it because there's one person saying this thing, one person saying you got to go all the way down to the ground. The answer is, it depends on the person, okay? So with Benji here, so you can see he's got a very nice tall chest, straight back. These are the most important things we always want to keep. Now, the angle might change a little bit differently when we come down to the knee here. So we can see his knee comes forward a little bit, everything's still coming nice and far down, and his back stays straight. This is the most important thing. So if you start to like lean forward and round your back a little bit more, Benji, that's it. So a lot of the time we see people squat like this. We don't want this, okay? So we need to make sure that the body is prepared for load as much as possible. So anytime we have a bent back, this isn't good. This isn't a strong position. straight back, nice and strong. Hips come nice and far down, making sure that we get a good range of motion. And if you can't go all the way, that's also okay. Okay, so even if you only go down a little bit, maybe put a box or a bench underneath, go down, touch the bench and come back up. And then if you can, remove the bench, go down a little bit lower, go and touch something a little bit lower, go down, go down, go down, as much as you can, and use it as a progression for you to get stronger. Okay, and so as a progression for the squat, to make it a little bit more difficult, we can just add a kettlebell in. And my favorite way to add a kettlebell into the squat is to just put it into the front rack goblet position. So when we're holding it up in this position, same as Benji's doing now. So he's gonna just do 10 reps for us, just going through the squat, exactly the same as he was doing those bodyweight squats before. But because of that little bit of weight in front of him, it's gonna try to pull him down. But when he stays strong, he stays upright, and he's gonna get stronger from doing the movement. Beautiful. This is the best way I find, especially to go with beginner people, like who are wondering how to increase their load for their squat. Instead of starting with a back squat, start with a front squat, start with a goblet squat here, and it's easy because you can just pick up a dumbbell or a kettlebell and you're good to go. Okay, another fantastic movement for beginners, and something that sometimes people get wrong, is the kettlebell swing. Okay, so this is a really complicated movement, but really simple at the same time. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on Benji's hips here. Okay, so we've got him swinging a nice heavy 24 kilo kettlebell, so he shouldn't have any problem, all right? Okay, so we're gonna get him just to go through 15 swings. Okay, so we'll have a little look at his technique as he goes through here. So he just starts off, big hip drive from his butt. Okay, so his butt is doing all of the work. We want his arms to relax really as much as possible, so they're letting the work happen from his legs. You see a little bit of a top half of a squat there, and then he's gonna push up through everything coming from his butt. There we go, easy. Nice relaxed arms, so you can see that he's not actually just lifting it with his arms. He's letting the power push through from his butt into the kettlebell and letting his arms bring it up high. Easy, great work.